Hey everybody, welcome back to CCG, Casual Card Gaming. This is Carlos.
This is Mario.
And we're back. Hey everybody, we're back.
Yeah.
We're going to be talking a little bit about the new Bandai Dragon Ball Super card game that's going to release 28th of this month, which is actually going to be Friday. It'll probably be the Friday of this video.
Yeah.
And most importantly is we're excited. We're happy to be back. It's been a while. It's been a while since Pansy died, unfortunately. And then Fanzy was around. Just wasn't for us, though. Our community didn't support it as much as in other places, so it wasn't as much,
To be fair, the community definitely tried to support it.
We tried.
It was just, for me personally, like I need to have the physical card in my hand. If not, I'm not gonna like it. Like I'm not an Octagon person or OCTGN.
Yeah, it's Octagon.
Whatever. But I'm not that, like, I don't like online card games. For me, they're really awkward and hard to get into. But this game, however, turning the page, this game shows a lot of promise early on. The artwork looks great. The game feels great playing it. Like, the mechanics are really, I think they're really cool. It's not something out of this world. It's not revolutionary. It's very easy and quick to pick up. But it's fun. It's effective. It's
enjoyable.
It's enjoyable. Honestly. Yeah, honestly. That's just the best way to describe it. It's an enjoyable card game.
By the way, the website is dbs-cardgame.com. Link will be in the description below. Definitely check it out. You can go see all of the cards that are going to be releasing on Friday. We'll probably be picking up a box, maybe two. We'll see what happens. And we'll be bringing you guys an unboxing video for that first box. If you guys want to see another one, we can try to arrange that depending on whether or not we need another. But we'll probably need another one. Yeah, why not? Either way, the good thing is, at first we were very skeptical. We weren't sure that we wanted to play this game, mostly due to the fact that this game was partially the reason why the Panini game ceases to exist. Just because Bandai did not renew the license. Well, renew the borrowing of the license, I guess, for Panini. One thing that is changing, though, that's I'm actually very glad Bandai has a game out, is press. There's ads running. There's YouTubers who are opening starter decks, checking out the card game. On Dokkan Battle, the mobile game, there's banners promoting the game. The game is being promoted. It's being shown out. I don't think you're going to have quite the same beginning that we did with the Panini game where there was a shortage. At least we'll see.
Yeah, we hope. It's very backed by Bandai. Like, they're going all in. A lot of local stores have demo decks. So try and see your local shop, see if you can get one. If they have, if not, there's still enough time. I'm pretty sure they can order. I don't know if you'll get the demo decks on time, or if you'll get the actual product on time, but it's still worth a shot.
Absolutely.
So check your local shops.
Support your LGS. Play with the community. Get involved. You can get involved with us by commenting, liking, subscribing, keeping in touch with our channel, other channels. The community is going to be kind of rubber banding back together from splitting apart from Panini. We'll see. At least there are a couple of new faces going around, so we're going to try to partner up with them. We're down here in South Florida, so we're definitely going to be in our community. We recently visited one up in Central Florida, so we're going to talk to those guys, see if anything's possible. Florida brothers.
Besides just a general we're coming back video, we also want to give you guys a little bit of information just to get you started. Basic stuff just to give you an introduction to the game, let you know what it's about. So there's like 4 styles, which are the basic styles for the game. So you've got red, yellow, green, and blue. Those are the only 4 at this moment. And each one of them has its own separate, unique, distinct playstyle, which I think is really cool. About that it's like, each style, kind of like in Pansy, they each have their own, signature trademark that makes it identifiable and very easy and separate. However, unlike the Panini game, in this game you can mix your styles. So yes, you can blend in colors and you can splash colors in. To give yourself extra mechanics, extra cards to work off of, And I think that's from a deck building perspective. I know you've said this before. It opens the game up to a
absolutely. So, if you just look at all the different combinations in a game like Magic the Gathering, you can do a mono deck, you can do duels, which most people do just to kind of vary it up and be able to mix styles of play. And even possibly later into the future, the possibility of tricolor decks. We'll see. Who knows?
I mean, it's an option.
Definitely on the forums and things like that, people are already starting to mix together colors to get the most out of the deck. And the leader. The leader, believe it or not, is going to be pretty much the focal point of how your playstyle is going to be because they're going to facilitate that playstyle, which kind of leads into the next point of different card types. There's the leader card, battle cards, and event cards. Is that what they're called?
Extra cards.
Extra cards. That's right. The extra cards act as like things that you can do during your main phase, things you can do during battle, such as counters, which every color has a counter. There's no more of that black not having an omni block. Everybody's got one. We're good. Okay? Sorry, still a little salty about it.
So the way this game works is it's pretty much like every color has, some cards in common, like counters, which I guess you could say are like your combat cards in the Panini game. But for the majority, there's no combat, there's no non-combat cards. This game is very combat-oriented, which is really cool. I mean, it goes with the theme of the show.
And very Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah, it's very Dragon Ball Z. You're always fighting. And it's pretty much your battle cards are the basic field unit that you use to execute combat. I mean, your leader, which is equivalent to your MP, not just determines your playstyle, but also is another combat card that you can use. So unlike in the Panini game where combat is carried out by actions, which your MP does, MP being you, in this game it's like you can tap, like in Magic you can tap to attack, and your leader is a unit that you can tap. There are no non-combat cards. I think I said that already, but
currently, at least. This is the first set, so there's only
So,
and
I
so
mean,
much.
well, there's one that's, I guess you could say, is like a field card.
Okay, yeah.
So, well, they call it a field card, but
Yeah.
it would be like equivalent to a drill. So that is currently in the game, but it's not prevalent. But that's just a quick introduction to the game. Again, check the website. There's a video that has
Everything. It's a complete walkthrough on how to play the game.
Yeah.
dbs-cardgame.com. Again, link will be in the description below. There you're also going to find the keywords. Keywords are very, very important in this card game, as a lot of the mid and late game cards are heavily dependent on those keywords in order to facilitate your win condition. That's going to be the main focal point of what you do. Everything needs to come down to how do you win, which in this game there are two ways to win. You can either win by deck out, which is in any card game, well, in many card games, not every card game, or by life, which is kind of like battle rewards, if you remember the Naruto card game, which Bandai also made.
Yeah. So those are your two main win conditions. The most prevalent one, which we've played like 15 plus games,
and no deck out.
There has not been deck out.
It's very hard.
So it's almost always by your life points is what they call it. There's 8 cards aside on the deck at the start of the game, and then kind of like in Pokemon, where as the game progresses, you take damage, you kind of pick them up and you move them to your hand. So it's this really cool tempo that's going on where, like, if you hit your opponent, it balances out because they net card advantage, and then they can use those cards in turn to bounce back and help stabilize themselves and then also hurt you. So it's very tempo oriented. It's you have to calculate exactly, like, okay, I want to do damage, but is right now the best time to do it? So we've actually been figuring that out. So I would say this game is very easy to pick up in terms of, like, the mechanics is very simple. At a glance, it's very simple, but then there's a lot of depth because of just turn flow. But you get that with practice. I mean, it's just the more games you play, the more you realize, oh, there's like a whole other layer here. But that's all we can say. Like, my early impression on the game is I would say it's very solid. Mechanically, it's very solid. It makes a lot of sense. It's not complicated. It's not too dense to the point where, like, you have to constantly reference the rule book, and you're like, okay, but what does this do? It's very straightforward, and I think that is what makes it very enjoyable. I also like the fact that, you know, you're netting card advantage the more you're losing, so that kind of helps to equalize. All of the games that we've played, I don't know if it's just because it's us playing and we know. We'll have to see when we get to locals and we actually play with other people. All of the games that we've played, we've won and lost by such a small margin of victory. Ridiculous, like it 1 card difference, which
almost always.
Yeah, I mean, I remember there were times where you would play not just the Panini game, any card game. There are times that you sit down and
just
if you're
shut out.
Yeah, and it's just straight. You're just getting steamrolled.
I mean, there's plenty of games that I'm sure you guys can think of that have OTKs.
Yeah.
FTKs.
Yeah.
I'm not pointing out any card games in particular.
But yeah, I mean, like in this game, it doesn't happen like that. Where I mean, at least for us, it hasn't gotten to the point where, you know, you feel like, oh man, I'm just getting rolled. There's nothing I can do. Like you always have a way out and an answer because of the fact that the more damage you take, the more card advantage. So like the game naturally helps you out if you're in a losing state.
Correct. It sets you up to be able to turn the tables on your opponent and get back into the swing of the game, putting you in a seat of power. Again, that depends on the deck, archetype, what you're trying to do, all these different things put together. That's really what's going to make the difference. So although the game is naturally going to put you in this position, how you take advantage of it, that's going to be the deciding factor.
Yeah. The other thing that's like really key, we kind of forgot to mention that, is your MP, which is your leader card in this game, actually flips. So there's a flip mechanic, kind of reminiscent of.
You get to go Super Saiyan on your opponent. You just
you just power up. So
don't yell. Come on.
Kind of like
at home, yell. At the LGS, not so much. No, unless they're cool with it, then just do it.
But kind of like in Force of Will, where what's it called in Force of Will?
Oh, I can't remember.
Forget.
But yes, where
I guess it could be like I forget what it's called in Force
of Will. It's similar.
It's pretty much imagine if your MP has a basic effect, like every time you attack you draw a card. Well, once it flips, that effect gets like intensified, so it's like you know, when you attack, draw 2 cards, and then you do something else, or, you know, that's a really bad example, but if you look at the card list, you'll more or less get what I'm saying.
And as of right now, every style has 3 leaders. 3 leaders for every style. So that's giving you a total of 12 leaders to pick from. And generally, as far as it's been so far with this first set, things may change. Right now, they all have the same threshold. When you're at 4 life, you can draw 2 cards and flip, meaning that's when you power up, rather than paying a cost or something like that. And it eliminates that kind of turn factor that a game like Force of Will has, where you can really mandate when you're going to do this transformation based on other things that you're doing. Here, you're kind of, what's the word I'm looking to? Limited. You're limited to the game state. So once you're at about a halfway point, the game recognizes that you could be in serious trouble, or you could be on the track to losing. So this is kind of a way to kind of swing back at your opponent. You get an extra 2 cards in your hand, and you get to flip your leader into a more powerful state.
Also, when you flip it over, your leader also gets a higher power level.
Yes. Very important.
So, for example, like all leaders have the same power level of like 10,000 points. That's just a fixed value that they have. And then once they flip, they all have a fixed value of 15K, which is, you know, pretty average. But again, the effect is really why the leaders are great. And they're the centerpiece of that. I also think it's really cool how you can mix and match. So like if you have a blue leader, you can put them in a red deck if you find the card support to help facilitate that strategy that leader implements. So I think my early impression on the game overall is just good.
Yeah,
it's just good.
It's fun.
Ton of fun.
Honestly, it's fun without losing the competitive nature of it. So other card games where they've been quite fun, they don't feel
competitive,
fair in a competitive state.
This feels, And I mean, just overall, it just feels very competitive.
Yes.
It feels very, very, very competitive.
And knowing Bandai, they're going to take very good care as far as how to like structure these organized events. Even right now, they're doing a great job of doing ads. There's ads on Dokkan Battle supporting the game.
Yeah.
There's YouTubers who are doing starter deck openings, getting a look at the game. The coverage that was just going on through the summer so far it's been hyping this game up a good amount, not too much. It's not overhyped, I don't think. But you know, it's really about the community. If you guys can get your LGS to support the game and get your community to go there, that's where it's going to thrive. Yeah. Ultimately, it comes down to who you can play with. We play with each other. We play with members of the community. Now, with the game coming out on Friday, that means we're going to be playing with them a whole lot more rather than playing with some pieces of paper that we've been doing so far.
Yeah. And again, like, this is just our outlook. This is just our opinion on the game so far. Not everybody's going to agree with us, of course.
We're from a casual perspective.
Anyways. But, you know, from our perspective, it's about, you know, having fun. And it feels very fun. I'm more of a competitive player of nature. In my opinion,
I'm more about fun factor.
Yeah,
that's why I've played so many card games. They just don't work out.
Yeah,
because they're fun, but when it's too fun and not competitive enough, and you have to basically hope that you get a heal card as your 7th point. That's why I don't play Vanguard anymore.
All right, somebody's salty. Anyways,
I'm not salty. I'm just recalling past events. There's a difference. I'm salty about
take a sip.
I've got water here. I'm salty about no black Omni blocks.
Anyways, so yeah, from a casual perspective, it's fun. From a competitive perspective, not all card games are great competitively. This one feels very great. If you put yourself in that competitive mind state. It feels like, you know, there's a lot of viable strategies just early on, just by goofing around and mixing cards in. I mean, like, thumbs up to Bandai.
For sure.
Thumbs up to Bandai.
They did a really good job setting this game up for success and balancing it out early on. Of course, with any card game, there's going to be decks and certain cards that are much stronger than others. But so far, I mean, it could just be with the limited knowledge and resources that we currently have, and we only have about 2 or 3 of us thinking at one time. Tony's not in this video. He'll be back later, I promise, though. There's only a couple of us thinking at one time, and once you get those fresh mindsets, that's how you start to breed these new ideas. So far, though, it's been close, like Mario had mentioned before in all of our games, where it doesn't feel like you're getting shut out. And that's one thing that I really like. You know, I like making those rogue decks that don't make any sense. What was it, Black Tau?
Yeah. But I think another great selling point for this game is like the super rares. So like the highest rarity cards. They're great cards, don't get me wrong. They're really, really powerful, but they're not like in any other game where it's like, okay, the highest rarity card, the super rares are really, really good. You put them on the board and then you win. You know, like that, or maybe not win, but like you can swing the game back in your favor.
Right.
I mean, you can do that with these cards. It's just
but it's not so immediate.
It's not immediate. And if you put it down at the wrong time,
it can cost you the game.
It can cost you the game, yeah. So I think that's another really great thing. Like they're all late game cards. Don't get me wrong, really, really powerful cards.
Very powerful cards. There's nothing to sleep on.
No,
if
not
the
at
price
all.
point is good, you should have play sets.
Yeah,
which I think might be. I mean, it's Bandai, so
yeah. So that's one thing that makes it great. I think the other thing that, you know, if you guys are like casual card players like we are, or even if you're looking for a competitive environment, it's a new card game. We're talking about it's starting the first set. So
day one is Friday.
Yeah, so there is no learning curve. I mean, there will be because of people like, you know, like us or other people that have had access to the cards earlier. But technically, you guys can have that access too, just by looking online at the card list and just playing with, you know, a buddy or a friend,
right?
That it also might be interested, and you can figure it out. So the learning curve right now, I guess you could say, is at a very minimum,
right?
Very, very minimum. So it's an open meta, an open game, no learning curve to it. If you're looking to get into a game, I would say this is a good place to start
for sure. just checking out YouTube channels, playing with friends, checking out websites like Top Tier, you're going to get an idea of decks people are already building, what they're foreseeing is going to be strong. And most importantly, I think one of the things that kind of shied some people away from the Pansy is any character is possible in this game. Yeah. Any character. Because before, the characters were limited to MPs, where now it's any character. I mean, Bulma was already a character in this first set, and Bulma only came out as an ally in the Pansy game. And it's already starting now at Super and branching out into a bunch of different places. So one of the great things is your favorite character is very likely to be in a card, if not sooner rather than later.
Yeah. And again, since they're starting at the Super era, they can pull from what's recently going on. If you guys look at the show, the anime,
episode 100 hype.
Yeah, you guys can pull. I mean, well, they can pull from there. They can also go all the way back in time, and they can pull from Dragon Ball. Well, Z. They can pull from Z, so they can pull like.
Well, they already are.
Yeah,
there's plenty of artwork and characters that are shown from Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah. Like Broly. Broly's a card. Mm-hmm. He's a leader in the first set. So
Krillin's a card.
Yeah.
Only one Krillin though.
Yeah.
Sorry.
It's alright. Meat Shield Krillin.
When you look at
the card list, you'll
he's
see.
A green card. Go to green. Look for Krillin. You'll understand.
He's not Meat. He's not called Meat Shield. He's called Human Shield. That's his name.
Tomato.
Human Shield Krillin. But yeah. Check it out, guys.
Absolutely. We're excited to get into the game. We're excited for you guys to get into the game. And if you're excited with us, we want you to share that feedback back with us. Leave a comment down below, like, subscribe. Let us know what you want from us so that way we can do this together. We're a community after all. So we're here to play and we're here to talk to you guys about what's going on. So expect the usual like we had before, deck techs, games. We're going to be doing a box opening for this first set. So look out for that. We're also going to be talking to people at our locals once things start to get structured, go over their decks, things like that. It's going to be hype. It's going to be hype, I hope. It's going to be hype. It's going to be hype.
We hype.
Yeah, I'm excited. So, anyways, we're going to sign this off for CCG Casual Card Gaming. I'm Carlos.
This is Mario.
And we'll see you next time on CCG.